Hello, dear beings. We are going to start talking about a more diverse audience, amplifying not only human but to other type of beings. They can be mineral, they can be vegetable, they can be animals other than humans, they can be aliens, and they can be energy type, bodiless, just energy. Okay? Therefore, amplifying the dissemination of my ideas to all kind of beings. My name is Ferruccio Bilic, and I'm going to discuss briefly new value systems. Okay. Why I'm going to do this? Because the present values of system are not good for individual and societies because they have bad consequences at the moment, and they will be worse consequence in the future. Therefore, we should start thinking about new values, planning new values to adopt new values that will have better consequence in several ways. Okay, one of the ways could be more sustainable results. Another way could be more happiness and things like that. Okay, therefore, good consequence we can imagine, and also bad consequence also we can imagine. And the present value system that we have a lot of bad consequence, such as consumerism, to consume just for the pleasure of consuming. When you consume a lot, if you eat a good meal, you are going to have a pleasure. But if you eat several times that good meal, it becomes common thing. Okay, therefore not that pleasurable as it was at the first time. Therefore, things should be all the actions should be moving towards happiness. Therefore, just consume for the sake of consuming doesn't bring you all the happiness that you may desire. And all kind of extrapolation or overconsumptions in pleasure, happiness, in food, in travel, whatever, doesn't bring you a lot of consumption and bad results, but not all the happiness that you may want. Okay. Let's start thinking about some more specific case. Let's think about Europe. The values that Europe are pursuing, they are getting confused. Okay, the original values were not good, but the new values that are being brought by more immigrants seems to be worst. Okay. Such as when you have Christian values, they're not good, but are not as bad as more ideological values. Okay, we should have a value system that is more adapted to our life and give us more happiness than and satisfaction. Okay, Europe is being swamped by Islamic values. In some sense, they are good, but in other sense, they clash with the more Christian values of Europe. Okay. Although the Christian values are a little more relaxed, they are not very strict, but the Islamic values tend to be a lot more restrict. Okay. And this will bring a different Europe that is quite different from the one that European people would prefer. Okay. In the case of Brazil, the planning value of the society in Brazil that we did make us realize that for betterment of the Brazilian society and individual and the society, we should pursue values that give us more transparency, or in other words, less corruption, less criminality. Okay? Therefore, the majority of the Brazilian people wants more transparency in the all kind of situation, in the government, in the business, in society, and so on and so forth. Okay, but unfortunately, this transparency, the less corruption, more justice are not pursued by a more specific group of people in Brazil. At the present moment, seems that the judiciary system, especially the higher level judiciary system, tends to be less transparent, more corrupt, therefore more unjust. And there is a clash between what Brazilian society wants and what the judicial system is trying to impose. And this is bad because society already gives its critique of the top judiciary system in Brazil, where the top judiciary system is reproached or approved by only about 13% of the society. The majority of the society disagrees with the top judiciary system. This is a problem. Because the judiciary system tries to impose ideas that are not desired by the society. Okay? The ideas that the society doesn't want is to disarm, because the society already, in a plebiscite, decided that they want to have access to arms, so that who wants to carry arms are allowed to. This will automatically reduce also the criminality, because the criminals in Brazil would be afraid to assault people, because people may fight back. Okay? And in terms of freedom of speech also is another point of view that the Brazilian society wants to have, as in this constitution is written, is free speech. Okay? But the top judiciary system in Brazil wants to censor the free speech of the Brazilian. This is also another point of disagreement between the majority of the society and the few that runs the top judiciary system. United States of America also is in a value changing mode. Okay, they were more, they were stressing more leftist values, and now they are going more towards right values. Like I want to make a joke. American society is moving towards right to the straight, right, and before they were to the left. Right is a linear thing, and the left is a crooked. Is a not right. It's a crooked direction. I wanted to make this joke since the the Nixon administration, when he said, "I'm not a crook." I imagined that that joke at that moment. That as a very old joke. Oh boy. Therefore, the Americans they also have a identification problem. America is the whole continent, and they call themselves Americans. They should have had some imagination and said that they are pilgrims or whatever. To call them Americans is also a joke, okay? But they still should think about finding a more appropriate name for them, okay? As a matter of fact, Americo Vespucci didn't do much good things for this continent. Christopher Columbus actually discovered this continent for the Europeans. Americo Vespucci only claimed that this was a new continent, and it's unfair that America should be called America. We should be calling Colombia or Columbus or Cristofalo. Cristofalo Colombo. Colombo. It's a pity, but there are a few things. Therefore, not only one country to another country, everybody should be starting and thinking about his new value that should pursue in the future. Should make a review of his own values now, and and see what are the consequences of each one of the values that he or she holds or the society holds. And if they bring bad consequence, should try to change these values for new ones that will bring about better consequence. Okay, therefore that's why we should have always continue pursuing new value system more appropriate for our happiness and our better consequences. Okay, I thank you very much for your attention. Give your like or dislike. I appreciate also your critique and comments and your inscription in the channel, and will be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for the attention.